Hello, welcome to Earnest Prattle, and this is edition 3, and it's me, Paul Wardle, in conversation with a very special individual. But before I introduce you to today's guest, I just want to ask a little favour. Would you please be kind enough to click the like button and click the subscribe button? If you could do that little favour for me, that would be amazing. Thank you very much. So, on to today's guest. And in my little enclave of joy, happiness, and chat, today I have a person I've known for quite a long time, very special individual, and she's the #1 Smiths and Morrissey fan. And so, it's a great pleasure to introduce the lovely Angie Cooke. Hello Angie, how are you?
Hi Paul, I'm absolutely fine. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you for asking, Angie.
No problem.
I just want to start off, Angie, if it's okay, just for those 3 members of the public who don't actually know Angie Cooke. Can you just tell me a little bit about yourself, Angie? I mean, it's just where you're from, where was you brought up, and where are you living at the moment? Just a few bullet points.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so I'm Angie, and I was born in Huddersfield in West Yorkshire, best part 50 years ago. I'm of a Reuben and Grenadian heritage. That's where my family's from. Been brought up in Huddersfield, left there when I was 20 to come and live in Manchester, been here ever since. Absolutely love living in Manchester. It's a great city, but I go back to Huddersfield all the time to see my family as well. So yeah, that's it.
And how have you found life in relation to the COVID situation? How has this affected you? I mean, I was going to say, for me personally, it's been a very testing time, and I've been isolated in the house since March of this year, and it's been really testing. It's been a drain on the physical and mental health. So obviously everyone's story is different. How's it been affecting you, Angie?
Well, I'm really lucky. I've not had to shield. I've been working from home, but when the lockdown ended, was it June? I was able to go and see my family again quite regularly, and then the tiers came in, so I've not really been able to see them that much since then. But I went out last Saturday for the first time in about a month when the second lockdown finished, so that was nice to be able to just go out for a wander. So I know I'm really lucky that I can do that. And yeah, it's been a weird year, obviously, for everybody. It's been so strange, and I've only been into my office at work physically twice, and it wasn't even a full day. It was just to drop by and do stuff. So that's a long time, and I've barely seen my work colleagues. I think I've seen 1 or 2 since March, out and about. It's been a weird old year.
That's the main thing. It's the new way of working. There's not much physical interaction at all, is there, really?
No, it's like there's lots of video meetings, which is nice because it's nice to see everyone and see how they're doing, but it's not the same as bumping into someone in the kitchen and having a natter, or taking bits of post round and saying hi to people when you do that, or just bumping into someone in the corridor, or when you're out and about. It's not the same at all. So it's weird. It's really weird.
I mean, one of the biggest things to me is missing the family. I'm fortunate that I've been able to see Paul Jr. and he also came on with his mates to do one of these chats. The first one, as a matter of fact. But that's more or less the thing that saved me, is this bit of interaction, and also seeing Paul the odd weekend has kept us going. It's been really difficult, but this is a time when you need your friends and family, but due to the circumstances, we've got no choice. I mean, are you in the top level, is it, Manchester, or?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, tier 3. Yeah. So we have been for a while. It's just really annoying because most of the boroughs have come down now, but still in tier 3. So we'll see what happens at
Yeah, same as
Christmas.
Nottingham. They didn't help themselves in Nottingham by deciding to open the Christmas market a few days back.
Oh, I heard about that. It's just like crazy. Well, they're doing some mini ones in Manchester. I'm just like, have you not seen what just happened in
It
Nottingham?
was horrendous.
Yeah.
So whoever made that decision want to have another look at that. But
Yeah, because it was obvious what was going to happen. People, if the bars and restaurants aren't open and you've got places that are selling food and drink, everyone's going to flock to that, aren't they?
that's all that
What
happened,
happens.
basically.
Yeah, and it's going to happen in Manchester as well. It's just like, don't do it. Just don't, but we'll see. Yeah.
Well, let's move on to what I know you best for, which probably a lot of other people do as well, is you are like Morrissey the Smiths' #1 super fan.
I'm sure many other super fans would argue with that, but I'm
Well, you're up
keen
there,
on them.
aren't you, babe? You're up there, definitely.
Yeah, I'm partial to them. Yeah.
In case anyone hasn't seen it, you are quite well known for was it for a BBC documentary?
Yes, it was People's History of Pop on BBC 4 a few years ago. Yeah.
And it was basically about fandom and how people are obsessed with particular artists. And I'm going to say I was quite impressed with your appearance and the amount of stuff you knew, the amount of stuff you had, which we'll talk about. Was you ever lucky enough to see the Smiths live?
No, I was just that bit too young, and I didn't like them either when I was at school when they were around. I wasn't that much of a fan. I didn't like them at all, actually. And I think when they split up, I just turned 15, so I was just that bit too young to go and see them. But I know the people that were younger than me that have, but they were obviously very eager. But there's no way I'd have been able to go even if I did like them. My mum wouldn't have let me go to see a concert on my own when I was 15. No way. So
I was the same, Angie. I can relate to that 100% because I mean, you started before me. I think I was a late starter. I didn't get into them until about 1998, 99. But yours was around about the Rank album? I remember that
88,
famous cassette
yes.
that you popped up with. But I was the same at school. I was 15, 16, and I just thought, what's that daft bloke on TV doing with that bush in his back pocket? It is a bit strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it kind of like went over my head, and I was too young to appreciate the lyrics and too young to appreciate, at the time what a change that the introduction of that band made to British music. It all went over my head. So, it's like some of the biggest artists that changed the British music scene. We're talking Oasis, talking the Beatles. I'd put the Smiths amongst that group of artists that really did change music. But
I agree.
At the time, I was too young.
Yeah.
I was too young to appreciate what a difference that made, basically, especially to a lot of people's lives. But so, when did you become interested? What was the year you think? 88, you said?
It was Every Day's Like Sunday came out by Morrissey, and it just completely turned my head. And then it was like, oh, I think I might be a fan, but I don't know what to do, because I knew my family would be like, oh God, not him. But eventually, when Rank came out that same year, I bought that and then listened to it, and it just blew my mind. And then after that, I bought all the other albums on tape, which I've still got. And it just all took off from Every Day's Like Sunday, definitely.
1988, as you put it.
1988. I'd nicked that off Morrissey, so he's good for that.
You are quite a completist, I must say. The amount of memorabilia and albums and stuff you've got on badges. I must also say badges. That Angie's got the most amazing collection of badges. And I will be forever grateful that a couple of years ago I was, I had quite a bit of harassment,
Yeah, I remember.
physically and mentally abused on the way home from my workplace one time, which left me quite upset. And
Yeah.
I can remember a couple of days later, a jiffy bag turned up on my doormat. There's a lovely message in it and some cards and badges from Angie Cooke. And I've had a special place in my heart for you ever since. It was such a fantastic, nice gesture. And it makes you think, for every one person out there that's an arsehole and is going to bully you or treat you like dirt, there's 100 people who are the complete opposite. So that's just give time, love, and an appreciation to the ones that matter.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
I mean, it shows that being part of the Moz Army, as we call it, it's, as you said, not just any other love. This one is different because it's us. And the things that we do to look after each other goes to prove, like I say, you're always first on my Christmas card list every year.
Oh, thank you for that.
So when this opportunity came up to have this conversation, he was one of the first people I thought I need to talk to our Angie.
Oh.
So, it's been a pleasure to have the opportunity to do this with you. But I noticed that, it all ties in with the memorabilia stuff and Smiths. There's also that photograph on your wall behind you of one of the great buildings in Manchester, which is the Salford Lads Club.
Yes.
What's your connection with the Salford Lads Club, Angie? There is a connection, I believe.
There is, yeah. So I think it was 2 years ago, Leslie, the project manager there, maybe 3 years ago, I think, 2-3 years ago, he asked me to be a trustee, which I was not expecting and was a huge honour because I love that place. I've not been much this year, unfortunately, because of the pandemic, but I like going there a lot. It's like my second home, and Leslie and all the volunteers are fantastic. They do such great work for, the kids in the area, and they look after all the visitors that come to, check out the building. And it's not just Smiths and Morrissey fans, it's people that are into local history and architecture. So yeah, it's a fantastic charity, which it is, and it was a huge honour to be asked to be a trustee. So yeah, that was.
And do you have your photograph on the wall now, specifically?
I think I've got it on the ceiling, and it's in the far corner. And then when they put the two like sort of folding panels up, I'm partially obscured now, which is really funny because they asked me to do the honours and officially open the panels when they were all.
Well, I was going to say, for those that don't know, in relation to the Salford Lads Club, there is the Smiths room. There is basically a shrine to Morrissey and the Smiths, and there's photographs all over the walls. There's post-it notes where people can write the name and a message.
Yeah.
And it's applied to the wall, so the walls are basically coated with the names of, the Moz Army and photographs and newspaper cuttings and all sorts of stuff. I mean, I'm proud to say my name is on a little post-it note there somewhere.
Excellent.
And I'm also in the big photograph outside the Star and Garter.
Oh yes, I've seen that one.
One of the Moz Army meet weekends where we did the coach trip around Manchester.
Oh, I love that.
Yes, absolutely. It's always it's like when you come to those things, it's only annually once a year. It's like you can come on your own, and you're like part of a family.
Yeah.
And it's like you've never been away, basically. And the love and affection, it's amazing.
Oh, it's wonderful.
It's a fantastic bunch of people. So, I mean, in relation to the bits and bobs you have collected, Angie, have you got any bits and bobs that are more poignant or more special than than the others?
I think it probably is my cassettes, because that's where it all started, with that Rank cassette album. Because when that album came out, I was I think I'd not long turned 16, a couple of months before. I was on my youth training scheme, as they used to have back then. Didn't have a lot of money, but because I'd already had my head turned by Morrissey, when I heard Rank was coming out, I didn't buy it immediately. I think I'd left it for about a week or so, and then I thought, I'm going to buy it and then just see how I get on. And then, yeah, it just all started from there, really. So that's very, very precious.
And do you have the great man's autograph?
Yes, I do. In '94, he did a record store signing. He actually did two. He did one in London and he did one in Manchester. And the Manchester one, I queued outside the big HMV, as it was then, for 8 hours and got his autograph. And he knew who I was, which was like really insane. It's really funny. I was just like, oh. And yeah, that was great. So I've got that. So that, yeah, I think those two things are probably my two joint.
And you know what? I'm so jealous.
Oh,
I'm so jealous. It's the one part of my collection I've not got. I've got all the bands except for Morrissey, and you see, you go online and the amount of money that people are asking for Morrissey autographs, you can't afford it, and you don't even know.
And you don't even know if they're real. Yeah, they might not even be authentic. I've seen some real obvious forgery attempts, and they're asking hundreds of pounds. No, that's not right. But no, he'll come. You know, we'll get back to normal.
Well, I've tried to knock up Alistair Morrison, the photographer. I said, next time you take Morrissey's photograph, can you get him to sign a disclaimer in duplicate, please, so I can have one of the copies.
Yeah, definitely do it.
But well, you know, I keep hoping. And how many times have you been to see Morrissey? And I think I've been 12 times as yet.
I think I'm the same, 12.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I think it is 12. It would have been 14, but because I think the Castlefield Bowl dates, was that 2-3 years ago, got cancelled, unfortunately. So it was great to go and see him this year at Leeds. That was,
I was there.
Oh, you were? Of course you were. I didn't see you on the night, unfortunately, but it was amazing.
I took Junior.
Oh,
that's nice. It was my 12th, but Junior's first ever Morrissey gig.
Oh, how did he find it?
He loved it.
Oh, I knew he would.
Yeah, and when he did the encore, RS Blood English Art, I couldn't. All I could hear was Paul like singing at the top of his voice.
Oh,
which was lovely, really. To be fair, I was actually quite made up for him.
Oh, that's lovely.
Well, that was a passage right away. His first ever gig.
Yeah.
I was just so proud. It was Morrissey.
I know, that's amazing.
So
yeah.
You know,
good parenting.
It was lucky we got it done when we did.
Yes, it was.
Straight after that, with the COVID situation, it more or less, you know, it stopped.
Yeah, I think he did Germany and he did London, and then that was it. Yeah, all finished. So we were really lucky that we got to see him. It was very good timing.
I think that might have been a day after my birthday. It might have been the 14th of March.
I think that was around the London or Germany date. I think Leeds was the 6th of March.
6th, maybe, yeah, just before my birthday.
They were all close together, though, definitely, yeah. So, yeah, we were, anyone that got to go to any of those 3 gigs, because obviously Paris got cancelled, so I was gutted for all the people that were going to that.
It was amazing, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, so glad that we got to go. It was a really, really good gig. Enjoyed it immensely, yeah.
And talking of Morrissey again, ironically, can you show us your tattoo, Angie?
Oh, yes. Hopefully you can see it. Oh, let me just try.
Here we go, yeah, hang on.
Yeah, can you read it? Sorry, it's a bit dark in this.
Oh, Manchester, so much to answer for.
Oh, you can see it, good.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Well, that tattoo has done the rounds as well, hasn't it? Didn't that appear in a publication?
It did. Kevin Cummins did a book a couple of years ago, and part of it was a friend of his did like an essay kind of thing, and she sort of asked people questions by email, and then they had pictures of the tattoos as well, and mine was one of them. So yeah, my arm is in the book.
I think you're very lucky because I think Judy told me at the time, and I lied. I said, well, as one of the naughty Wardle brothers, it's not like me telling fibs, of course. But I lied and I said that I had a tattoo, so I wanted to be in the book as well, but I didn't actually have one. So
Oh
it was 3 weeks before the Moz Army meet, so I had to go and find a backstreet tattooist in Bulwell, Nottingham, to get
no.
the tattoo done because I'd told a fib I didn't have one. I was going to get caught out. So I ended up with the old handsome devil.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's really cool.
Well, everyone just thinks I'm conceited, but I'm not. It's you know what it is.
Yeah, the people that know, they know. Yeah,
B side of the first single.
yeah, definitely. Some
Hand in
people
glove,
just
handsome
know.
devil.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I'm right in saying.
Yeah,
Well, you should know,
absolutely.
Angie, of course.
Yeah, it is. I'm not an expert. I've not been on Mastermind. Like I know a
You
couple of
should be on
people that have been on
Mastermind.
Mastermind. Oh, I'd be terrified if if I showed myself up. Oh no, terrible.
Well, I've been over on Mastermind. Probably the first question would be name 2 days of the week we gave me tea, and I'd say today and tomorrow. So that'd be no good, Angie. But in relation to your memorabilia, how did you get that image around the world? The one that ended up on a badge, is it Adidas Angie?
Yeah.
What's the story
Um,
behind Adidas Angie?
I've had that as an email for a long, long time because I've been into old school retro Adidas for like years now.
Did you used to do
Um,
breakdancing?
no, I think I tried a bit when I was at school, but I wasn't very good. But it was great fun to try. But yeah, really like
Well, you're
old
the
school
same age
Adidas.
group as me, aren't you? Around about 31 we are at the time, aren't we now?
Yeah,
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 that's it,
that's
yeah.
it. But yeah, so that's where all that came from. And then Adidas did a campaign for Stan Smith, and they said, "Get yourself Stan Smith." So I sent them a picture of me when I was like 7, 8. It's like my favourite picture of me. And they Stan Smithed it, and then I got it done as a badge, and then I got it done as a canvas, as a bag, and then that same photo was the one that Andy Barnett used to do my rank one for the Moz Army gallery.
That's
So yeah,
another that's another brilliant iconic image.
I just love it. He did such a good job. He's a genius.
I want to get my face on something like that. I mean, the last
Oh,
time
do
I
you
got
know
my face on
Andy?
something important like that was probably a wanted poster. Well, that's as near as I've got, to be fair.
Do you know
Although,
Andy? Because he'll do it for you, definitely.
really,
Yeah,
well,
he's great, Andy.
we'll have to get in touch, see what we can do.
Yeah, you would have met him at Moz Army meets because he's been to a few, so I'm sure you were both there at the same time. So yeah, Scottish, blonde, reddish hair, glasses. Yeah, absolute sweetie. Yeah,
Well,
he's brilliant.
I'm moving in quite famous circles at the moment, Andy, so you never know who's going to crop up. So I'll keep you in touch. So if you rub my back, I'll rub yours, Andy. You never know what
Yeah,
sort out between us.
definitely. Because he's done quite a few people, and some of them are like really daft and funny. Because like he did one of me as Candy Darling on Sheila Take a Bow, and it's just a really daft sort of caricature. But
No,
then
I
the
love it.
rank one is yeah, it's brilliant. He's done some really good ones, so he's very good at it. So he would definitely do one for you. Yeah.
And that's another thing is I've seen you at the Moz Army meet and on the weekends doing the bus trip. Tell everybody what the bus trip's about, Angie.
Well, it's basically all of the sort of famous Smiths and Morrissey locations. So let's see, it starts off at, I think it's usually Strangeways it goes to,
Yes.
the prison, as in
I
Strangers
always get a
Week.
sweat on outside Strangeways in case try and keep.
I know don't get too near to the
Oh,
doors in case they take you in with them.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So Strangeways, and then it goes to Salford Lads Club, and that's where we get to stop, and then you can go around and do the tour, and you can buy lovely badges and T-shirts and lots of bits and pieces. And then is it the Iron Bridge and Morris's
Oh yeah, I
house?
think
I
do the
think
Iron
so.
Bridge.
Yeah, and Morris's old family home
The
in
Iron Bridge is where
Stretford.
we all do petty crime.
Yeah, we all do like a little bit of
Allegedly, we write
graffiti.
graffiti on the bridge, but we don't really, but we might do.
Yeah, just a little bit. We
This
don't
isn't
go too
official.
bad.
This is a
Yes,
joke, policeman.
yes, it's possible that we do.
Possibly we may have seen somebody right on.
Yeah, yeah, I might have seen a couple of people, but I
Yeah,
wouldn't know who they were, kind of a thing. So
yes.
yeah, and then we do Morrissey's house as well, and then we do Southern Cemetery. Some people actually go in and have a look round, and then some people just stand at the
Well, I had a
gates.
look round Southern Cemetery, but there just seemed to be loads of graves.
Oh, there's some
Although I did see a
beautiful
lively squirrel
gravestones.
that came up
Yeah,
for a look.
yeah.
And that's the thing about a lot of Morrissey fans is the vegetarian or vegan. And like I say, my friend Alistair Morrison, I know I keep name checking him, but he's a vegan, and he's trying to get me to go vegan, which I'm trying. Are you a vegetarian, Angie?
I was vegetarian for years, and then I lapsed badly, and then I decided to try going vegan, and that was nearly 4 years ago, and that's gone really well because Jay, who you've met, my other half, he's an amazing cook. So he cooks all kinds of wonderful vegan food, and it's also a lot easier just when you go out and about as well. It was when I first started, it was a bit rubbish, but now you can get all kinds of stuff. It's great. So I don't miss meat. I don't miss.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If someone had cooked for me, I probably would go vegan more easily because it's living on your own. I can't really be arsed. That's the problem.
No, but
I'd
fair
love
enough.
to.
Yeah.
I can remember that one of my first forays to the, I think it's the Smith's Disco, which I think it's once a month, isn't it, in Manchester?
Yeah, not for a while, but yeah, it's usually I think the first Friday of the month. Yeah,
First Friday of the month.
I think so.
I went to meet a load of fans who it's the first time I met them all, and I was a little bit new to the scene. I was in this restaurant before I went in. They was all in the same restaurant, and they're all eating vegetarian. And then my food came in. It's this massive great steak. I was like thinking,
Oops.
yeah, exactly. It was the oops moment when I'm thinking, I'm not quite fitting in here, am I, to be fair? I felt a bit guilty eating that steak. To be honest, I didn't eat much of it. I felt too guilty.
Right.
I ate the fries, but I left most of the steak. That's my excuse anyway. I was just protesting against eating meat. It was a visual protest.
Yeah.
So I've now cottoned on to when I'm at the mausoleum meet. If somebody asks me if I'm vegetarian or vegan, I'm very diplomatic and I'm careful what I say. But I've probably been caught out now as this is a public forum. I'm not fibbing at all.
No, don't worry about it.
But I mean, let's get slightly political for a moment, Angie. That's I'm going to play devil's advocate here. Morrissey, as he gets a bit older and he gets a little bit more grumpy, what's his stuff about is like turning right wing all of a sudden? What's your thoughts on his comments?
Well, I mean, it's no surprise. He's come out with this kind of thing before. It doesn't make him an out-and-out racist, or at all, actually. The only thing that I was a bit peeved about was when he sort of made a statement about the Manchester bombing, because if you read it, it was like he was having a tantrum because it was his birthday and it got ruined. I know he didn't mean it like that, and he was angry. I was angry. We're all angry and frightened when it happened.
Oh, obviously.
Like, yeah, but it's like, obviously in the case of the person that did it, him and his family seemed to have been involved, but there were a lot of the Muslim community in Manchester that were horrified, obviously, like most people were, at what had happened. And it's like, you know, you can't point the finger at an entire community because half of them didn't know anything about it. You know,
No.
we had a neighbour, and I saw her the day after, and her eyes were just so sad, and it just made me sad because it was just like this resignation, and I thought, I bet she's had grief already, and it's just like, oh my God. But
There's one thing notice about you, Angie, is you're a bit like me, is where you're fiercely loyal to Morrissey, and we try as hardest to defend the guy. He's not a racist.
No, I don't.
There's no way he's a racist. He just has sometimes controversial opinions.
But he's always had controversial opinions, hasn't he? So this is nothing new. So, you know, it's nothing new at all. Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the fault of modern society, where if you have a view which is it's 1 millimetre left of centre, you're the far left. If you have an opinion which is 1 millimetre to the right of centre, you're far right.
Far right, yeah, it's crazy.
Most normal people in the normal world, they're not anything like far left or far right. They just have an opinion, and if everyone's opinions were the same, it'd be a very boring world, wouldn't it?
It certainly would. It'd be very boring, yeah.
But the thing is, it's like when I come to the Moz Army meet, or when I go and see Morrissey in concert, it's a bunch of people that all have the same love, and I'd rather concentrate on the stuff that makes us, you know, the stuff we have in common. Yes. Rather than the stuff that disagree on.
Yeah,
and do you know, Angie, if I disagree with something you say, I still love you the same.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't make any difference.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I suppose that's something that my father taught me. Old-fashioned values is treat them as they treat you.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, there's lots of things that Morrissey said that I've not agreed with recently, but I still love him. I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm just going to cancel him because he said that and I don't like it. You know, it's just not going to happen, you know. It's just not what I'm going to do because he's been in my life a long time. He's shaped it in many ways, and I can't just walk away from that, and I have no intention of doing that, you know.
And plus, the glasses and the quiff suit you.
Well, the glasses are actually genuine because I've been wearing them since I was 12. I'm blind as a bat without them. And I'm a bit squeamish, so I've not tried contacts. But the quiff is a newish thing. A few years I've been doing that. So, yeah.
Can you tell, by the way, just check, I'm talking like Hunchback of Notre Dame, because I went to the dentist yesterday to have a couple of teeth removed. So, can you tell her, or do I look all right?
No, you look fine. No, I'd forgotten, and I wouldn't have known if you'd not said. So
they left the main ones at the front. It's just at the back.
Yeah. No, you sound fine.
I was quite worried. I was going to speak to you yesterday potentially. I thought if I come on after the anaesthetic, are you going on, Andrew? I think it's not a good look. So I thought it'd better reschedule. But I'm glad we did because you're on fine form.
Oh, so are you.
Well, thank you very much. What do I need to ask you? I need to ask you a favour before we go, if that's all right.
Of course.
As it's now, it's a regular thing that I stole from Julie Hamill. My mum's name is Anne. So would you be kind enough to say hello to my mum, please, Angie?
Yeah, no problem. Hello, Anne. Hope you're okay. Hope you're well.
Thank you. That's very kind of you. So I'm going to sign us off for now, Angie, before my allotted time runs out, but I'll have to run and put another 50 pence in the meter. So I'm just going to say a massive thank you for this chat, and hopefully we might get a chance to do this again another time.
Yeah, definitely. I'd be up for that.
I've got loads of stuff to talk to you about. So
yeah.
Angie Cooke, #1 Smith's Morrissey Superfan, thank you very much for your time.
No problem, Paul. Thank you.